Hi, welcome to the Module 3 of Data Migration Framework course. I am Krupesh Desai, your trainer for this course and the author of the book Data Migration Framework. In this training, we will learn about the third iterative component of the framework, the data integration. Have you ever seen a giraffe in the desert? No, right? Similarly, a standalone system without any downstream or upstream data integrations is as rare as finding a giraffe in the desert. A critical business system integrates with other internal or external systems through synchronous or asynchronous methods. Secondly, essential business systems at the core of business operations supply data into a data analytics or business intelligence platform, such as a data warehouse or contemporary data lakehouses, and it is required to meet operational and management reporting needs. Therefore, your data migration plan must assess the impact of data migration on the existing data integration dependencies of the legacy system. In this session, we will address the factors to consider in data migration to minimize the risk of interruptions in downstream or upstream data integrations. A new modern system replacing the legacy system would differ significantly in the depth and the scope of features it can support compared to the older systems built decades ago. It may bring new system integration capabilities that are unavailable in the legacy system or include many operational reports and out of the box analytics currently powered by the centralized data warehouse and reporting team. Therefore, it is essential to assess the current state of data integration interfaces in the legacy system, as well as the capabilities of the target system to make informed choices on data migration, meriting a standalone component in the data migration framework. I once witnessed a situation where the legacy patient management system in the public hospitals provided various data extracts to the centralized national data warehouse for almost a decade, and that was used for national statistics and reportings on the utilization of demand of emergency, inpatient, or outpatient services. Some extracts were snapshots, whereas a few captured the continuous journey of a care episode. They started with accepting a GP referral of the patient, which could then result in an inpatient or outpatient visit, which can then span over a period of time. Especially with post discharge annual visits, an episode of care can actually last for really long, over a multiple period of years. Missing this data integration dependency while retiring the legacy patient management system caused significant delays in cost post the retirement of the legacy system in re-establishing the continuous supply of the data extract for the national reporting. Another example was the inability to integrate the latest patient management system with the theater management system due to a single missing field in the APIs of the new patient management system, and that resulted in a costly product enhancement request. So, decisions regarding refactoring or retiring any existing integration of the legacy system are outside the scope of this session. However, business rules for data transformation during the data migration can directly impact the upstream or downstream data integration. And therefore, this component of the data migration framework emphasizes engaging with internal data management teams and experts early on in the data migration process to gather all potential risks and possible mitigations approaches. You can further narrow your analysis into two use cases: system integration and data extraction. Let's look at them one by one. The core consideration in the system integration is the business processes that started in the legacy system and will be completed in the new system. For example, an inpatient with all his information captured in the legacy system will be discharged after 3 days when the new patient management system is live, changing how discharge data is supplied to the downstream integrations. Similarly, a bulk of order received in the legacy system will be shipped when the new system is in place. Therefore, business rule formations and resulting data transformations must factor in open business processes in the legacy system and the impact of the choices made on the integration dependencies in the business continuity. Supporting existing system integrations of the legacy system with the new system can enforce some restrictions on the data transformation during the migration, which must be discovered early on in the project and raised promptly with the vendor of the new system. Poorly planned data migration poses a significant risk of corrupting downstream data integration and interrupting business process execution. For example, a business critical integration dependent on the legacy system's alphanumerical field cannot continue because the equivalent field is a numeric attribute in the new system. In this example, either the integration interface or the target data structures need some tweaks, subject to a thorough cost-benefit analysis to determine the best choice. I recall my experience of last-minute changes in the logic of a derived unique identifier for a patient visit. It was based initially on the combination of the legacy referral number and the visit timestamp. During system integration testing, when the patient is discharged from the hospital, the visit identifier flows into a downstream invoicing system that tries to extract the patient number from it. A choice made for data migration turned into a showstopper that would have caused a lot of trouble in production if it had gone unnoticed. Therefore, before you finalize any business rules for target attribute, gather all possible documentation on the existing integration interface design and determine which attribute or fields of the legacy data in what format are essential for an integrated data flow to work. So, raise showstoppers early to avoid disappointments later and give your stakeholders enough time to analyze and find potential solutions. Now let's look at the second case, data extraction. A large enterprise will likely have a data warehouse accepting data feeds from the legacy system over the years, where data is modeled and arranged in some dimensional model, or it could be a data vault as well. The new business system can introduce changes in the data types or semantics of unique identifiers of significant business entities that directly impact existing data warehouses and analytical data marts. On the other hand, the new system may meet most or all operational reporting needs, demanding the retirement of numerous centralized reports. Therefore, replacing a legacy system will open the opportunity to optimize data extraction needs to support existing data warehouse and reporting solutions. Let me warn you that if your organization has recently invested millions in getting an excellent data warehouse up and running with your legacy system as a predominant data source, some data people can appear upset for no reason throughout the life cycle of the data migration project. I don't blame them. If I were on their end, I would be disappointed as well with the retirement of the legacy system. That is because data warehouses and data marts are not built overnight or over a week. Discontinuing data feeds from the legacy system and switching to the new system as the primary data source of a data warehouse would require substantial analysis and development work with robust testing. So, to conclude, I want to add that with such a significant change in your organization, you also have the opportunity to assess your existing reporting and data warehousing needs due to inbuilt operational and analytical reports in the target system. At the same time, it also offers an opportunity to revisit your existing data integration methods for optimization and standardization. So collaborate with your internal and external data management teams early on in the project. Make sure all the key fields in the legacy data that influence integrations are validated by both the system expert, and the technical expert. Retiring a legacy system can be your strategic moment to improve your overall data integration ecosystem. Leverage the six component of the data migration framework to assess, control, and ensure uninterrupted upstream and downstream data integration and eventually business continuity. As per the norm, here are the questions from this component that you need to find answers in your project. Thank you. Please continue on the next video on the fourth and the last iterative component, iteration goals.